Hi. Okay. I have this Tom Ford lip balm on. I have a lipstick in case I put them after. Maybe I should just have like some color. But the only reason I did this because I have cinnamon rolls and I've been like waiting all day to like have them. I don't know if I like this in my hair right now. Hello.
Hello, can I get some milk?
Well, where have you been? You've been missing for 6 months.
My dear Lucille, I've been stuck behind enemy lines in the war. This war's been hell on earth.
Thank you, Jerry. Do you have any snacks tonight? You're usually well and drunk.
No.
I have. You have. Don't you sneak home all that food from work? Like, get me some of that.
Say that again.
Don't you sneak home food from work? Like, get me some of that. Oh, you cannot admit. I neither confirm or deny.
Well, I can't confirm, but I just haven't brought anything home from work lately because I've been so fucking bored at work and there's no business and I pretty much eat at work, so I'm pretty much full by the time I get home.
No business? Why is there no business? Do you need to change up the menu? Do you
need? It's summer. There's no kids. There's no faculty. Literally, I'm rolling at 7 a.m. Turn everything on. 7:20, I put biscuits and bacon into the oven. Depending on anybody gets anything between 8 o'clock and 10:30, 11 o'clock, we usually have like 1 or 2 people. It's like literally I'm just sitting on company time, just scrolling through my phone, watching Unsolved Mysteries.
So you're saying that you haven't used that time to think of genius business ideas, to work on your podcast, like our murder podcast or like the sports? You've just read mysteries?
I almost bought a house last week, so.
And you didn't? You didn't like the doors?
Well, the thing is, I didn't have a financing. I didn't have like a broker all online, so it was like, yeah, go fuck yourself, kind of thing. Said the realtor.
You know what though? It's so expensive right now.
It was like $143,000.
You know what I think might happen is like, because if they find, well, I think that it's true. Like the rentals are what's driving up in part the like supply and demand, like the rental prices. And the supply is limited, which drives up the price too. But I think it's in part because people were allowed to buy up like extra properties. And it's worth more to not have a bad tenant than to not rent it at all. Like essentially, if you're going to just do a short term or just wait, so that's like less and less supply. So I think if they introduce legislation, which is possible, they already started talking about it, to have like less and less like houses that corporations can have, maybe it'll bring the prices down and you could, find it like, because it should be affordable. I mean, you work, you should be able to afford a house, maybe not 50. Like I think that is like the limit they're talking about, but you don't need 50 houses.
That's not true.
What are you gonna put in them?
Well, the thing is, my friend, I showed you a picture of the other day. She's a realtor. And we talked last week. It was like, she's gone at least try as hell to get me into a place.
Mm-hmm. She's cute.
We've been friends for almost 20 years. Her birthday was yesterday.
She looks like she's like a sweetheart.
She really is. She was on-air personality,
Oh.
and a veterinarian, and has pets. I mean, I really wish I could actually bring you to Illinois and meet her.
Then you have to show me Chicago, and then
no, I'm not going to show you Chicago. That's too far away for me.
excuse me, what about like Chicago hot dogs, museums, Pelicans?
Right, Pelicans.
Oh yeah, Tony Bennett, in the prime of his life. That is so sad.
He was so young. I mean, struck down.
He was hot.
103.
He was a babe. He got hotter every year.
He got more pussy than a truck stop toilet.
Well, it's because men like that are hard to come by. I mean, 96-year-old ones, that are single. The dream, man. The dream.
So,
I assume there was something you wanted to tell me. Otherwise, I'll just gap your face off.
Really?
I tried to let you go because I figured you had something you wanted to say.
No, not really. I told my friend about. So, my friend and I are, like I say, almost 20 years knowing each other. So she knows the up and downs of the craziness of my love life. More importantly, the issue with Brittany.
Mm.
So it was like the first time in a couple of years actually hang out. So she was in the boyfriend's pool, and she was like, "So, whatever happened to Brittany?" I was like, "Wow." Which, by the way, I actually kind of surprised she brought it up. Because every time I brought her name, I was like, "Ugh, get over it. Jesus Christ on a stick."
Well, maybe because it was like a very formative time for you. So it feels imprinted.
Well, that I don't talk about Brittany on Facebook by name, but cryptid.
That's because everyone's gonna think you're talking about Britney Spears with the crazy eyes. Did you see her dancing? She dances like a. She really does that. I was thinking of getting her book when it comes out. What's it called? Like in a couple months. Something woman. I think.
I know she's holding her breasts on the cover. I kind of want to pick it up so I can read it myself because I want to see.
Or you could watch the show at Ever instead of just your stupid mysteries.
It's kind of difficult to watch you at work because.
Are you calling me a slag? What? Hold on, I'm trying to see what is her book called that's coming out. She said that she wrote it, but I don't know if she wrote it. But it's like a memoir.
Well, it's probably ghostwritten.
I don't know. But she's got those like meth eyes. But I don't know. You know what? She's her own person. She's not hurting anyone. I mean, maybe she is, but. So, have you seen the the Barbie movie?
I'm gonna wait till that comes on YouTube so I can rent it because it looks kind of weird. A 30-year-old guy going to see a kids movie like that. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Also,
hello, you could pick up hot babes. Hello. Where all the ladies are at.
I would go do it as a joke, but it's like.
And they're in a good mood and they're laughing and they'd be like, "Hi, you are a feminist man. How are you doing?"
Dad came up over the 4th of July holiday, and we were watching the trailer. I turned to him and said, "Gee, I wonder who's going to play G.I. Joe in this movie."
Did you play with G.I. Joe?
I guess nobody else got the humor of the joke, but
I never played with G.I. Joe. I've never had one. I still have Barbies though now. I have dolls now, but I have more dolls now because I didn't get that many then.
well, think of it. G.I. Joe is the
tough guy
that Barbie wants to fuck real good.
Oh my god! Barbie doesn't have a vagine. Barbie can't. She just kind of like can basically just be lesbian. She's only has like.
Kid doesn't have any balls or dick.
Yeah, he's been male genital mutilated.
He's a eunuch.
He's a homosexual.
No, he's a metrosexual.
Okay, so I saw this review. I was just reading before the show. I didn't read all of it, but it was like Barbie movie applauded as feminist epic while depicting men as bumbling villains. The underlying and undeniable trend of modern day Hollywood is the making of movies that hate their own subject matter. I don't know that it hates it. I really don't think so. Specifically when that subject matter stems from traditional cultural norms. What the hell does that even mean, norms? Are you norms? Am I norms?
I am abnorm.
Okay. The goal is deconstruction, in quotes. Everything must be deconstructed, broken down, burned down, erased from the public consciousness, and replaced with the new woke ideal. Well, it was only a matter of time before they went after Barbie, and the results are embarrassing. Produced by star Margot Robbie and directed by Greta Gerwig. I love Margot Robbie. I love because she smiles really big, and I love people that smile. It reminds me of your friend in the picture. She has such a sweet smile. Okay. Where was I? Margot Robbie. What's wrong with Margot Robbie now? Okay. Does it revolve? What?
Margot Robbie kind of looks like Jamie Presley.
From My Name Is Earl.
Yeah, exactly. And
Earl. I love that show.
Darnell,
okay.
you come over here.
Yeah, Darnell. But their applause doesn't revolve around the overall quality of the story. Rather, it revolves around the messaging, which is aggressively woke. The Verge calls the movie bold vision built around the idea of deconstructing some of the more complex realities of what Barbie represents in order to tell a truly modern feminist story. And they give some other reviews. Okay, then I say the core plot of Barbie plays on the common feminist notion of reverse roles, along with a predictable hatred of men and masculinity, starting in a place where women run everything and men are simply objects with no agency. That sounds like a porn movie that you would like. Ken is a dunce that Barbie controls, while he is also simultaneously cruel, a classic woke depiction of toxic masculinity. But when Barbie is transported to the real world, our world as viewed by feminism, she encounters a cartoonish level of male chauvinism and sexism, while Ken learns to love the patriarchy and tries to transport it back to Barbie's world. In fact, the film script uses the word patriarchy at least 10 times. Is that a no-no word? Obviously, the premise as a metaphor is faulty because the dynamic depicted in the flick doesn't exist for women. I bet this is a man that wrote this. or at least not in Western society. Gender roles exist because of biology, not because of conspiracy. That's why women wear pink. Biology. But then, the ultimate childish fantasy is not Barbie's dreamland. It's the feminist ideal. The surface story involves the realm of Barbie as a parallel universe to our own, but real-life issues and fears start to invade Barbie's thoughts, and she begins to challenge the structures of the world she lives in while disrupting everyone's blissful ignorance. This is how woke activists see themselves, as messiahs, shocking people out of an illusion controlled by evil white men. What? What? Not surprisingly, the movie it's dolls. It's dolls. Like surprisingly, the movie also ignores the essential reasons why Barbie as a toy is so popular. Okay, listen to this. This is where I left. For decades, Barbie has been a primary target of the feminist movement. Their accusations is that the toy is a negative image reinforcement for young girls and a tool for the patriarchy, for molding women into unattainable beauty standards, as well as social standards. In reality, Barbie is vastly successful because she's a blank state. Let me stop there for a minute. I mean, it's almost done, but this has been studied, and girls, like the dolls that they play with, it really does often translate into what they feel they should look like. It could be other people will tell them like, "Oh, your dolly's so pretty." But I think like it doesn't matter like what the doll was, like if it's a Barbie of her time or Bratz dolls even. And they look really weird, but really people take that. But there was like a woman online, like maybe there's more than one, but tried to like turn herself into the real Barbie. And she got like a lot of attention for, plastic surgerizing herself and I think like putting in like these fake blue eyes or whatever. So that's true. I don't think this person knows what they're talking about. I think that they just like hate this movie, which I mean might be crap, but like, God, okay. Girls and women tend to project their personalities onto fictional characters and many other things, and Barbie has no defined personality to get in the way. Little girls make Barbie into whatever they want her to be. Does this guy play with dolls? I don't. Which is usually them. This is the reason why we often hear that. I never heard somebody so talk so passionately about dolls who doesn't like them. Okay. Okay. Often hear feminists argue that everyone needs to feel represented in entertainment. They cannot relate unless they can project. That is not the only reason. I mean, I don't even think that's the main reason, if it's even a reason. But as a blank slate where they can be no manipulation or male domination with a toy like Barbie. So feminist claims fall apart. They simply ignore what the toy means to children and think only of what it means to them. By extension, there's no romance in the Barbie movie. No love story for Barbie and Ken. Is this guy gonna cry because there's no Barbie and Ken like dates? I don't know. No playing house or taking care of babies. All the things that little girls do with the toys are deliberately erased. I was a little girl. Do you want to know what I did with my toys? I wasn't making babies. Raised. From the film, beyond the colorful set design, the movie is distinctly hostile to the idea that it should appeal to kids. It is only made for one very narrow group of people, far left ideologues. It's a Barbie movie. Robbie sold the concept to Mattel as a movie that loves Barbie, but also doesn't shy away from problematic issues surrounding Barbie. This is the end. It will be interesting to get an honest opinion from Mattel, how it's in theaters. The middle of the film, a teenage girl shouts at Margot Robbie's Barbie in a California high school cafeteria. You represent everything wrong with our culture. You destroyed the planet with your glorification of rampant consumerism, you fascist. Don't tell me they take that literally. That is not a display of love for the toy. Are you kidding me? It's a joke. It's a group of woke fanatics doing what they always do. It's not enough that they hate the product and what it stands for. Everyone else has to hate it too. Feminists are not happy in their own crazed beliefs. They are only satiated when others are pressured to affirm those beliefs, often through propaganda. Okay, my movie buff. What did you think of that?
I think that girl needs a good weight.
Let me see who wrote it. It's just a blog. Anyway, I feel like it reminds me of like I haven't heard it. I don't like. Well, I mean, I like Patsy Cline. I like a little country. I do like a little country, but
I like a little rock and roll.
Well, I mean, I don't follow like Top 40 radio to know that this song, try this in your small towns or something. And like, I guess there was like a controversy and people are like, this song is realistically depicting what small towns are like. And it's like, okay, what about Barbie Girl, the song? Does it realistically portray, like, this is a movie. This, like, most songs are shit. I'm sure that song is shit. Top 40 radio is shit. What do you think?
Shite.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like this is the general, like, media. This is why I haven't logged into Twitter. Like, I haven't been on Twitter because I guess you have to log in now. And I guess there's a limit on how many tweets anyway. Not that, I mean, is it like 1,000 a day? I guess you'd have to be really scrolling. Well, imagine if TikTok banned how many talks you could take or whatever, like how many seconds of talking you could partake in. Oh, speaking of, I heard, well, Terry sent me this, like, there's this, like, they call it a trend, but everything is called a trend in order to fill up random newspaper space for morons, or, you know, whatever the equivalent of newspaper space is nowadays. But there's somebody called like Ugly Doll or something like that, and she says things like, she's a really, really, really bad actress too. Like, it's actually just like, I have to act bad to act like her because she's really bad. And I'm sorry, but like, I pride myself on like, you can effort, like, but so I guess it's a fetish, but like, they call it a fetish, but you know how they call everything a fetish nowadays? Because I was trying to understand, like, what is the point of this NPC fetish thing? I don't think it's a real fetish, but I'll tell you what, I think that, because they say, oh, you know, because maybe you have control over them. They only have like 3, I guess you could call it phrases, like, thank you, like, whatever. That's the equivalent of having a fetish for a fat person, like for a fat lady that does nothing in bed, that lays there like a starfish, but they're awake. They just don't try or make any effort. Like, maybe the person gives 2 responses, so maybe they make a fart noise if you poke it. And that's it. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's probably somebody with a fetish for that, you could call it. But I mean, like, because if it's to have somebody respond to you, like, I literally am responding to you guys right now. It's just I put actual thought into it. And if I was going to act, I would just do it well. But so this is the equivalent of low effort, like minimal. Yeah, it's the equivalent of having a fetish for a lazy fat person that lays there and does nothing in bed. Like, that's your thing. You could find that anywhere, I bet. But yeah, I don't get it. I think this Talk Ticks or whatever, like, it tells you what to watch. I mean, this is what I gather. I don't have it, that apps, but people always say, this was shoved down my face when I was constantly scrolling for myself page. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? But like, so I think that's the thing. Like, they find new things to tell you to watch. I don't know. I'm not on it. What's going on in the Twitters, by the way? And have you heard of this NPC business?
So,
you're our expert. You're our resident expert on feminism and cultural issues today.
Okay, sure.
Well, I haven't been on Twitter, so tell us what's going on Twitter. Are you limited your tweets? Are you loving it? Is it better? Is it worser? Are you on Threads?
Well, for a time there was a viewing limit, like how many views can limit for a while, but that kind of went away. I don't tweet that much. I just kind of scroll. But yeah. I mean, I had to do a little interaction on Twitter because kind of mature and just don't want to interact as much. So I just basically see what's trying to happen in wrestling, what's happening around the World of Sport Bowl, you know, this and that.
What's happening in the world? Have I missed anything? All I know about is Barbie movie, and there's a strike. There's, you know, are you going to strike?
I already strike it like a couple hours ago when I got home.
That's not a strike.
You're up two matches together. So, anyways,
Look, I feel like the NPC thing reminds me of the fact that people try to put on me to act a certain way. So, like the NPC thing, the person's like, oh, you give me money and I say yum yums. Okay, but I don't do that. And people can understand I don't do that. Okay, but what is it that is that I am not doing? Well, one, that is like whatever you analyze the fetish to mean, like, oh, debasing yourself so low that you can only utter phrases for money. Okay, cool. Whatever that, okay, amazing. So since I don't do that, that would mean I'm my own person. So maybe don't, like don't treat me like that. Because if, I could act like that if I wanted to, but since I don't, then just act like I don't, because I don't, So that's going to be my new slogan is like, hey, isn't there some NPC bitch you could be, giving tokens to or something? No, leave me the hell alone. This guy he wrote me this advice. I restricted him for a while, but I feel bad for him. I unrestricted him because he has diabetes, he can't see. So, and every time I feel bad for the guy, he comes back and says something horrible. Like, calling with a show, he's like, how did anyone get your number? I said, oh, you told me that you watch all of my shows. Well, actually, what I said was, they got it from watching the shows that you lied and said that you watched. He's like, no, you can't watch them all or whatever. I forget what he said. But the thing is, it's like, he is treating me like that moron. But why doesn't he treat that moron like that and leave me the hell alone? Because if I wanted to act like that, I would be acting like that and getting treated like that. But you're treating me like that without me acting like that. So fuck you. Do you have any rage that you'd like to express? I feel like I'm expressing a lot of rage.
Well, maybe you can rage all day on me.
Isn't there some like death metal remix of some girl yelling about like chicken or something?
I don't know.
Like she wanted chicken. I just wanted chicken! I worked 12 hours! Do you have any chicken you could yell about? I worked 12 hours!
No, but maybe I can find some death metal about some sex magic.
Oh, did you watch that?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I thought your mother was around.
Oh, no, she's been gone for like 2 weeks. I was going to call in last week as a surprise, but, no, you weren't on.
12 days, 12 hours. What did she want? Is it chicken? I don't, but you know how you ever worked long shifts and then you got really hungry?
No, actually, I have worked long shifts and just not want to eat.
Is it 12 hours? Let me see. You don't want to eat? I used to do that when I would work. I'd come home and want to eat everything. I wonder what that is about. Maybe you just want to escape. I don't know. Maybe you're out of energy.
Honestly, sometimes like a nice nutty buddy bar, in your mouth and in your stomach, and like just fall asleep and get back up and have to go to the grind.
Is that how you fall asleep?
Oh no, not something long in my mouth. No.
Hey, Pill. So, did you see my Hawaiian vibes this morning?
Yeah, I did scroll that when I got home today. I was trying to think something smart ass to say, like I was doing like last couple of nights, but since you brought up milk, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. I forgot.
Well, you know what? I was like cleaning lately, and I don't know if you have like things But when you have things, you have to think of like what things to get rid of or not, or have you used it, So I look over in the kitchen and I see this hula skirt, and I think that's like the first thing my eyes draw on. I'm like, well, I could get rid of that, but I need that. And I was like, okay, Stella, but what are you going to use that for? And I was like, hello, moron, to wear it. I was like, to wear it for what? And I was like, to masturbate in. Hello. And then I got it really like horny all of a sudden. And I was like, yeah. And I went in my room, and the light was like that morning light, like where the room is like lit but not too bright, but like so it felt like I was in like a cabana outside in the summer, because it is summer. And I was like, oh, I feel like Hawaiian. I feel like an island girl. And I just got so aroused for myself. I have like a fantasy of like being taken by like a visiting man and like my exotic Hawaiian self.
Straight on a desert island, a big hunky man, and he takes you to his tiki hut and be like, baby, I know you're dying for some coconut juice.
Like Gilligan?
So, yeah, sure. If Bob Denver's tickle your fancy.
I prefer the older man on the show. I don't know who he is, but he's older, so I would prefer him. Maybe older than him, but still. More like Tony Bennett age if you could. But close. So I saved it. And I'm like, next time I should do it with like the little, like the lathe around too, because I was just topless. But I was like, how sexy to have like nothing underneath and just, exotic. And so you see how hard it is to go through things when I literally am like created like very arousing stuff just from a skirt that I could have thrown away, but instead I chose to masturbate with this and pretend I was a Hawaiian princess or something.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
Oh no, you couldn't get in. Bill Pales can't get into the OnlyFans. Captious. Whereas you could go on, but you never write me except to send me clips to old television shows or music and whatnot. Movies. And that's it. Cryptic. Is there anything that you wanted to say? Did you want to ask my expertise? Anything?
So anyways, I told my friend about telling Brittany I confessed. She was like, oh shit, really?
Mm-hmm.
So then I showed her the letter I sent her, because I'm a hoarder like that. So she was like, wow, I'm sorry, it sucks she didn't get any closure. Like, yeah, but at least she knows. Or it even sucks more she didn't respond. It's like, yeah, like she knows now, which, yeah.
She's like Alex in the book.
Yeah.
Are you listening to the book at all? No, you're not.
Yeah, actually, I've been listening. You've been.
Hello, it's relationship advice. Hello. You only listen to the sex parts.
That's not necessarily true, because I've been actually putting you on TV and let your soft, soothing voice.
Am I on TV right now?
Say that again.
Am I on TV right now?
No, actually, I have an old episode of Love Connection on TV right now, and you're
Love Connection. What? You know what? I bet you they're gonna bring back game shows like with the actors on strike and everything, because back in the day when there was like no TV, and I don't even think they could like record it, like all those old like Betty White programs, they were just like coming up with new game shows all the time. Like that would be so much fun. I bet you would kick ass on a game show. I would fail ass on a game show, but I would still show my ass and do ass things on a game show, because game shows are fun and you could win a TV.
Did you ever see American Gladiators?
No.
Okay. So, recently, the American Gladiators documentary came out on, I think there's one on Netflix, but The one I'm talking about is on ESPN Plus. It's part of the documentary series they have on there. And American Gladiator is both the original in the 90s and the one they rebooted in 2008 were both replacements for the writer's strike. And the writer's strike also in 87 cut short season 2 of Star Trek.
That scarred you for life, didn't it?
Well, here's the thing. I was only probably about a year old and still don't know the things of the world. So I wasn't really into Star Trek when I was, 9 months old.
But still, that must have been really traumatic for like 9-month-old. I can't imagine.
I don't really much. I can't remember like the first 4 or 5 years of my life.
Yeah, I feel like I was just like sucking on my feet or whatever. Same stuff I still do, but I had less things on TV.
Well.
So are you going to be at date night tomorrow? Maybe. You try?
I'm going to try. I don't know if I don't know what I'm up to doing, but I'm hoping for some more sex magic.
Would you show up if I said on camera while I was naked and be like, I'm going to come right now thinking of, I'm sorry, what's her name again? Oh yeah, Joe. I know your name. I'm going to come right now thinking to Joe, Brittany, you stupid bitch. And like, and I'll wear boots, but then it's not naked, but it's semi-naked. I'll see. I have to work on it. That's what I should do. I should do a new thing where I do it live and take. Yeah, I didn't do the NPC thing. I pretended to be an AI that was madly in love with you by programming, and I've taken commands to do sexual things, but not say yum yum. But
I'm still looking for a sex bot. I'm waiting for the sex bot to come to reality.
They're practicing them, but they keep like overheating and going and ripping off the male genitalia, so people don't like to sign up, to be like test dummies on it. Would you?
Yes, I'll wear a strap on just in case.
Strap on? You want to fuck a robot with a strap on? Okay, that's your thing.
Hey, it'd be like DP, or maybe even TP, triple penetration.
Oh, so I was thinking that should be the next thing is you give your names of your ex-girlfriends that you want me to curse at and say horrible things to. You put it in the you could put it in the chat or the private one, and like say Caitlin, you're a slut, or say like, okay. Should I do that tomorrow? Just go hot.
Jersey girl, you China whore. You think I wasn't good enough to make kids for you? Huh? You weren't good enough to make kids in high school?
God damn. Oh my God, that was really impassioned. You're a great actor. I could feel the intensity in that. Are you okay? Do you have a hard time?
Yeah. I was doing my best.
You bitch!
I was doing my best on Dwight Yoakam from Sling Blade.
I told you.
You tiny, shit.
You're stupid. Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Now. There's the door. Hey. Don't you ever just want to lose it like a mad Karen and just like go completely nutters publicly, like that's it, and like start like throwing a store apart. You stupid bitch! How dare you? But just make sure it's not like to a black person. You're like, whoa.
I have literally bit my tongue so hard to taste blood. I was so infuriating at somebody. Like, last semester, I was like really biting my tongue. I was like, hey, you see blood on my tongue?
I love seeing angry people. It's good for her.
I love, I love it when you're angry.
Angry at you or just in general?
I,
Angry at anti-Barbie articles.
I guess
The patriarchy.
yeah, but Sheila knows when you get angry.
My nose?
Well, I'm trying before you, goddammit.
Okay, thank you. I love you, and I will talk to you next time. Mwah. Good night. Thank you for calling. A trans person. Hello. How are you doing? So you see, I wore this shirt for you, and on the back it says, "Do you smell it?" Because remember he's saying,
"Be quiet. I'm not in the mood right now. My Wi-Fi was just taken down.
What?
About 2 hours ago.
Why?
I was setting up everything ready to go for both songs. Both songs I was going to sing it to you were a Kool Moe Dee song and an R. Kelly song. But now I can't do that now because my Wi-Fi is gone.
Oh, was it R. Kelly? Was it going to be Ignition?
No.
Okay.
Bump and grind.
Bump and grind.
But
Yeah.
now I can't do that. Now
I believe I can fly.
Stella, I'm pissed off right now because this happened just at around like 6:55, almost 5 minutes before SmackDown came on, and then all of a sudden, bam, our Wi-Fi was taken down.
Is it bad weather?
No, we have awesome weather.
What's going on?
We tried resetting it. We tried unplugging. We tried unplugging. We unplugged everything, and look what this piece of shit said. It said, "Sorry, there seems to be some trouble. Please tighten your cable connections, and then restart your TV box. You can often fix common issues." We did that. Nothing happened. And here's the worst part: a technician is coming out here.
Okay, good.
A technician is coming out here to see the problem, but the technician is coming out Sunday.
Sunday. I wonder if there's anything, like if you could call them, if they could talk you through something. You know?
They did.
Oh,
They did.
okay.
My dad did. And
Yeah.
guess what? The person on the line tried everything, and he said that the system having a problem. And get this, Estella. There's no outages here. None.
Could be heat. Has it been hot? It overheats here sometimes. Yeah.
Maybe that could be it. Maybe it's the heat.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. It happens to me sometimes too, but it's like they better get on it fast though. Sunday, the day after tomorrow, but because you pay for this, so they can prorate it, but this is a service they need to get.
That's why I didn't. Let me just say, I was trying to call first, but unfortunately, when I tried to call you on my home phone, I forgot that the home phone is connected to the Wi-Fi.
Well, see, I thought he just snuck in to try to get before you, because you usually call first, and he doesn't.
I do because hey, I just want to get this out of my hair.
Yeah, I know. We should do a prayer that you get Wi-Fi, don't you think?
But everything just went out.
Yeah, it's just it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Do you know any songs that you could use a little part of it, even without the internet?
Well, I got CDs here. But I'm trying to, you see, that's why, Stella, I got 2 phones, just like you. I call on when I'm doing the calling show. I call you on this phone, and I use my other phone to watch you on your live stream. But I can't watch you on your live stream because, well, Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Oh well. You didn't see OnlyFans either, did you?
I did. I turned the Wi-Fi off.
Aww.
On my good phone. On my good phone. That's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, you want to save it.
You know, my mother told me, and she was right. The cable people here in Louisiana, the cable here sucks.
Yeah, because when you have a monopoly, you don't have to try very hard. That's the truth. It sucks. I wish there was way more competition, you know? But it's dark times.
I wish they would just fix this and then keep it fixed and not have these problems over and over and over again. And we have to keep on calling them, figuring out what the fuck is going on now.
Mm. Well,
you know, it's not even, you know, let me just say something. It's not even worse than having all of your lights out.
Yeah, because you could at least have candles.
Lamps, too.
Lamps. I had this little, with a light bulb. I guess you call that a lamp. Yeah, but I've had power outages. I remember when I was a kid, we just bought food. And we lost power, so all the food went bad. But that at the time for us, that was a big deal. That was all our money. It was really bad. I remember eating ice cream that was melted, in the bags. Yeah. It was a bad night. It was thunderstorm. It was in Massachusetts. It was storms and it was dark. And I remember my mom lit a candle and we sat, and my sisters in the floor around it. And I think we played cards around a candle with no power. Did you ever lose your power in Chicago or Illinois?
I think once.
Yeah.
A couple times here. But not like here in Louisiana. Even when I was born in the middle of Louisiana, I can just tell you that one time it was a massive storm. We didn't have power for days.
Mm-hmm. That's horrible, like a hurricane.
It was sort of like that.
Yeah.
And we had, and when I was still living in Monroe, Louisiana, we had a flood.
When do you think the next big natural disaster will be? I feel like we're due for one.
Sometime this year.
Like an earthquake. Like a big one, not like a little one. Or
another hurricane.
Yeah, like a hurricane, tsunami.
Yeah,
a volcano explosion. Isn't that where tsunamis come from, though? Because the volcanoes are like, woo, and then the waves happen, and then it's like a whole big thing.
Oh.
Yellowstone. I don't really know much about Yellowstone. Is that in California? Yellowstone?
I think so.
I'm always saying I want to go to the national parks like that they have in California, but then it's like, I get scared, If it wasn't for my anxiety, I feel like...
I know, but still there is one more disaster that you totally forgot. Geysers.
What's a geyser?
Water that shoots up out of a hole.
That's oil? That's a well.
No. That shoots out of a hole.
That's not a natural disaster. That's just water. That's like a sprinkler system that bust.
But someone did die one time for being too close to a geyser. Because that water will shoot out hard.
People die from all kinds of things. I bet you someone died from shoving a potato up their ass. I don't even know if it's true, but I would bet that they did. Because people die from weird things. It's a wonder we make it as long as we do. Look at Tony Bennett. I bet he never did any ass taters.
Or having a lead pipe shove up their ass.
I don't know if anyone's ever died from that, because, who would want to do that?
Go watch I Spit on Your Grave 3.
That's not a documentary.
Huh?
You love those horror movies. You're gonna. Are you almost ready for spooky season? See, this Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready for it too.
Should I do like? See, I probably can't with OnlyFans. I was gonna say, should I do like a horror setup with like blood? And I'm like, no, because even if you're doing your acting, you can't be fans of that kind of acting. Because
If it's fake blood and shit.
no, you're not. You can't even use the word blood. You know, once I had some food I was cooking, and there was a little blood from the meat like on the side, and I was like, okay, here's a steak, and I put it here, and they took it down. Oh. So yeah. So how would you do like a haunted scene, but you can't have blood? I probably can't kill anyone or kill any babies or anything on OnlyFans either. Like, remember that time I got banned for stepping on ants? You know, I was reading life hacks the other day to you guys, and there was a bunch about killing flies. And I didn't post them because I was afraid I wouldn't be allowed to post about killing flies. How to get rid of flies. It was like creating some mixture of vinegar and something, and then they'll die.
I got a story to try for you. This happened to me a long time ago in Illinois. A long time ago, when we were staying on Evergreen Lane, we had a bunch of flies in our house, and we didn't know why they were there until it was finally figured out why they were there. There was a bird's nest on top of our chimney.
Oh, cutie.
And the birds died. We didn't know that at all until when they finally came out, until they finally took the bird out, the bird nest out, flies were gone.
Oh. Well, you know, accidents happen. I mean, that's part of nature too. Yeah. Tragedy and things like that, but
Oh, speaking of this, today would have been my grandmother's 90th birthday.
oh, her and Tony Bennett are up in heaven.
She would have been 90 years old today.
Your grandmother. We have to say happy birthday, Grandma. We love you.
We would have had a big birthday party for her today.
We still think about you. Arthur loves you.
Miss her so much.
I know, you were so sad.
So sad. I can just remember May 6th, 2021.
Yeah, the pain in your voice.
My mother came in with my dinner. I said, first she was all like glad, and I was like mentioning my grandmother, but then I said, what's going on? What is it? Then when she said that, I fell to the ground, and I was, at first it didn't kick in, but it didn't kick in. Then after I was done eating, I started walking. And when I was walking, I walked close to the coat closet, and that's when it really kicked in, and I just started walking.
It's like you said to your mom, like, what's wrong? And I said that when my sister called me, what's wrong? And she said, Mom died. And I was just thinking that when you told us the story and when it first happened and then later and then now, it's like in the time when that happened, I remember thinking like, I felt so bad for you. And yet, you know, I was still thankful, like my mom was still alive. And then now it's your grandmother's birthday and my mom is dead. I did not have thought that would happen when that happened to your grandma. But
I didn't think it would.
It's just a similarity because you said the same thing that I said to my sister. What's wrong?
If I would have just she would have passed away, say around like 92, 93 years old, that would have been fine. But 87, that didn't work for me.
Yeah. You know, I try to think of things as like a blessing in disguise. Like, I know people hate that when you think about God's plan, but when you think of it in a context of it not being the end, it's less tragic. I mean, it is tragic. Suffering is tragic to begin with. But I try to think in a way that my mom somewhere would be happier in some way. Um, because, yeah.
I know, Stella. She went up to those heavens. I know that God was showing her some of the bad stuff that she did to you, and she was telling if there was one thing you would change, what would you have done? And when God answered that question, I know that she would say, if I could go back in time, I would be a better mother to Stella.
My mom was probably, maybe she was going to be at a point where more of my life would be spent taking care of her because, because she was not very nice to me a lot.
Very nice. You told
Yeah.
me the history.
Yeah.
You told me the history of what she did. And with that Stella,
Yeah, I still listen.
I'm lucky and surprised that after the shit that you told me, I'm lucky and surprised she did not go to jail. Because that's what because I'm sorry, Stella, I know she's your mom and you love her and you miss her, but the stuff that she did to you, she should have been in jail and you should have been out of that house.
Yeah, I think that when things are gone, sometimes I think the sense of that permanent loss of it, it can color sometimes, the memories or the feelings you're going through because you didn't want them to be gone like that. Every thought you ever had about them didn't involve this. So I wasn't ready for this.
I was thinking something. Yeah, I know that you have these attacks.
Anxiety, yeah.
Anxiety. I know that you have those because sometimes because your mother passing away. But still, do you think? Now let me ask this question: Do you think that sometimes you have these attacks and anxiety because of the bad stuff she did to you in the past?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of everything. Sometimes I wonder, like, if my anxiety has ever saved me in some way. Or, like, sometimes I am anxious. Like, I've learned from something or someone else's mistake, but sometimes I see someone doing something and I think, oh my God, if I was them, I would be too anxious to do that. And then something horrible happens to them because of that. And I kind of think that way too, of like, and I shouldn't say horrible because I don't mean anything of like, oh, karma or stupidity. In fact, I really mean in a way of, I think it's horrible and wrong. But say like, someone you love was going to like an interview and they, looked nice, but they didn't look like they had like a lot of money. They were wearing like their best clothes, but they weren't very expensive, but they would be a good worker. But you thought if you were them, you would be really anxious that you didn't look like showing off enough status symbol, enough wealth. And then say,
Stella, I think what you're saying is is what happened to you because when you said about sexy clothes, remember what happened to you at your doctor's?
My doctor. No. Oh.
You don't remember? You don't remember when the doctor?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. But yeah, that was after my mom died, and he had me take my shirt off to do my blood pressure,
And he asked you to
and I started
address
shaking.
it.
Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, thank you for remembering that. It was bad.
Really bad because I thought that. Oh shit.
No, but I wasn't talking about that. I was more saying how really someone wearing their best clothes isn't doing something wrong. The person that might judge them for how they look, I think that person could be wrong. But if you're watching that and you're anxious for them, like you think if I was them, I would have anxiety of how I look. And then it turns out like they didn't get the job because of that. Like in a really sick, twisted way, you're kind of right to be anxious. Even though you shouldn't, like, going through life with anxiety sucks. And the person is probably better off, even though they didn't get the job, that they don't go through life with the anxiety that you do. But the fact that you have to think of it that way.
Let me just say here, Stella, if you were to ever go on other anxiety or
I do. I will.
or mental or a attack, you know the three things.
I guarantee that.
You know the three things that can cure it. Number one, a kiss, a hug, and sex.
Aw. But you know what? Those are stress relievers, I hear. They say that and like things of calming down. And one with your body, pleasure. Take your mind off of that. I think in that Tantra book it said that. But it's like, I think some people don't have to be having as much anxiety. Like, I think growing up, I lived in a situation that had I had to have anxiety from every little thing, how it's perceived. Because the way my mom was, and they say babies even, they can pick up the slightest and the facial expression of their moms. Probably their dads too, but people, like, you can learn that. But the men that my mom, like, my little sister's father, probably even my father, like when I was first born, you learn, like, I would get in trouble for crying as a baby. Babies, they cry, but it was not good. So, I think in many ways, a lot of it, I feel helped because my mom was being abused, like I'll say by my little sister's father. So, like, there were times like, he would take things out on her, just if you could be in a bad mood, if there could be a toy on the floor, like any reason to like hit my mom. So you have to be very aware of any way that someone can react. Basically, swap the word aware for anxious. You have to be very hyper anxious about any way that something could go wrong because that's somebody's, your family's life on the line, so, and your safety too. So I think you go from there and you learn how you're being constantly watched a lot and monitored, or you don't want to upset people. And so I think that's, there are times that it's probably helped me. Like there's probably some situation, I'm sure I could conjure up memories of, I don't want to right now, but where when I was a child, by being anxious about something, I was able to save off like my mom getting hit once, or myself, or at least I felt that, or something was saved by this, because things do have consequence. So I probably learned this of like, if you're anxious, you can see dangers. You're ready for them before they happen. Like how you look, if you already see yourself through someone else's eyes, assuming the absolute worst, hypercritical, then you're hyper aware of it. So you're through their eyes can fix yourself. Even if you didn't see through their eyes, you wouldn't really see a problem. But because you have to, then you can analyze yourself. I don't know if I'd say better, but for better or worse, the way it is sometimes in our culture, you can analyze yourself better if you learn to do it that way. But the people that don't have as much anxiety, I don't think that they do. I don't think that they have such hyper focus on all the ways that they could be wrong to someone.
Yeah.
I don't think you have that.
No, not anymore. No.
It's nice.
Not after tonight. After losing my damn Wi-Fi, won't be not happening until Sunday.
Well, that's frustration. It's a little anger, like powerlessness. So that would drive those emotional reactions. But I don't know if it's anxiety. I mean, you might feel a little anxiety about, oh, I might miss the show if it doesn't come out anytime. Little things like that. But it's not like too bad. Like, there's only so bad the consequences could be. Like, your mom's going to be okay. You'll be okay. But it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Certain people who work at these places suck. Anyway, you want this prayer?
Yes.
Lord, you saw what happened tonight. Wi-Fi is out. Technicians coming until Sunday. And we are going to be stuck here looking at this mess. Tried everything. Tried resetting it, and guess what? Thank you for keeping me cool down.
Oh, you know what would be nice? Sorry, go ahead.
Now, as far as my friend Stella is, you keep this girl strong. You keep this girl happy. And this girl, all she loves to do is just do one thing. She loves to make us happy, joyful, and make us feel sexual.
Oh, thank you. I do try. You know what would be a good idea? It would be really fun. Is if you took this opportunity. Do you have any games like you could play with your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Like maybe I have like a game and I'd be like, well, once I don't, I can't play with as many things or watch as many things. Like, I think it might be a nice experience.
Yeah.
I think your grandmother would like that.
Yeah. Okay, not a song. This.
Well, thank you for calling.
I was gonna sing.
Oh, sure. If you think you can, then yeah, wonderful. Guess Who? Excellent. I don't think I ever played Guess Who. Another one with like the little pictures.
So you just made this so happy for me.
I hear it.
Well,
Doop, doop, doop.
this has been good times.
Good time.
These are the good times. Leave no past behind. These are the good times. Good times. These are the good times. Are you stay of mine? These are the good times. Happy days are here again. Time's up, just like, I'll make your beds. Let's get together about 9:45. Then tomorrow, let's all do it again now. There will be boys, better let them have the choice. There will be girls, only tell the girls. Let's put an end to this drifting strike. I think I want to live this morning life Good times. Oh, there you go.
That was wonderful. See, you pulled it out. Even in this tight circumstances, you made it amazing. Thank you.
But next Friday, I will sing those exact songs I was supposed to sing.
Yes, you will. All right. I love you. Mm. All right. The phone line is open. Both phones. Let me check this one too. Whoever wants to call. Hello? Hello? Okay. Here's what happened. I got a call on the phone, but then I also got a call from Terry at the same time. So Terry is next. But this is our lovely Jerry. How are you? How are you doing? I was Hawaiian Princess this morning.
Oh yeah. I was at work stuck.
I should have did a flower crown.
I would try to see you the best I can, but
You're at work, yeah. Is it hot?
yeah, it's hot. But this time it didn't rain.
That's why I ordered the food. I got warnings. My OnlyFans messaging like, don't go out. It's very hot. Stay where you're hot. It literally feels like it sucks the life force out of you. Like I just want to drink thinking about like it being like the water gets taken out of you. We're like, so you just that trip and then carrying bags, carrying things, and then doing the show. By the time I'm live, I might be like, I'm sorry. And this morning I got up earlier than I wanted to because I was up cleaning in the bedroom last night, and Rex gets me up this morning at the doorway, and he's like, he does this high pitch. I see because he like looks around, and sometimes he'll look right at me like. So I'm like, you want to go out? All right. My covers. Open the door. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I was gonna reach you with a Disney kiss, but you know how to mess.
Would you like to do some game questions? This is called Outbursts. I think that what you do is like you get like there's a lot like this is like a fourth of the question, so you're not limited. And then you put it through these things.
Is there a judge?
Is there a judge? Yes, you're the judge.
I'll say one more outburst you get held in contempt.
Well, I think you're supposed to try to get all 10 or see how. Okay. So, yeah. They have 10 responses. So maybe you see how many you can get. Mexican foods. And if you get it, then I click the. Do you know any Mexican foods?
Quesadilla.
That's the first one. You got it. Got it. There's one.
Taco.
Tacos.
Burrito.
It's not on here.
Chimichanga.
No. Go more simple. Nachos. Some of these, though, I don't know. Like, refried beans, I know, but gazpacho, I don't know.
Chiquito.
You know what? There should be one that's like brand name tires. Blank box. Fill in the blank. Major categories in Yellow Pages. Things you put lemon in or on. Non-animated TV animals. Okay, let's do that one. Do you know any non-animated TV animals?
Cats, dogs.
No, it's Flicka. Don't know that. Mr. Ed. I knew that, but Rin Tin Tin, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Lassie?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Flipper, does Flipper count as an animal? Gentle
Yeah,
Ben? Trigger, Morris the cat, Fred, Beretta's cockatoo, Silver. I don't even know who Silver is. Are some of them
The
puppets?
horse from the Lone Ranger.
Oh,
I don't Silver away.
James Bond films, television soap operas, summer Olympic events. Who cares? TV shows with families, plays made into movies. I feel like most of them. Descriptive words for fat. No. Members of the British royal family. That's cheating for Terry. Things you wash frequently. Last. Famous and bald. Okay, we'll do famous and bald.
Vin Diesel.
I don't think we'll know any of these. Mr. Clean. That Mussolini. Daddy Warbucks. These aren't even real people. I mean, Mussolini, okay.
I thought they were talking about celebrities.
But Terry, is it true that Meghan and Harry are getting divorced? I don't think it's true, but I didn't really look into it. I don't think they are, but because people always say that. Famous redheads. I bet none of them are real redheads. Lucille Ball, not a real redhead. Red Skelton, who is that?
Red Skeleton?
Little Orphan Annie wasn't a real redhead. She wasn't even a real person.
Are you talking about Red Skull?
Red Skelton.
Oh.
Occupations that begin with P.
Yeah.
Forms of birth control. Have you heard of the one where you jizz them inside the lady, but then you do like a spell, like an incantation, and it turns the sperm into sugar. Things that keep her tough. Funerals. Sports announcers. 1966 to 1988. I won't even try. I don't know any of this. So we'll see if you can even guess one.
Mark Madden.
What did you say?
Mark Madden.
Nope.
I mean John Madden.
Nope. No Maddens. But that might have been after 86. They're all saying Madden.
Yeah, I can't think of that.
Okay, the first one, Kurt Gowdy. Never heard of him. The second one, Howard Cosell. Never heard of him. The third one, Frank Gifford. Kind of sounds familiar, but not really a name to it or face to it. 4, Brent Musburger. 5, Vin Scully. Now the next one I know, Bob Costas. But here's the thing, Bob Costas. This is 66 to 86, and I only know him from like last year. Like on HBO or like the Olympics. Like this motherfucker's been around since the beginning of time. Since before there was television, Bob Costas was there talking about sports. Was he ever even an athlete? Okay, then Al Michaels, Jim McKay, Keith Jackson, and Don Meredith. Don't know any of these people. Gifford was a football giant. Chinese food. Knights. American cigarette brands. Was there even 10 of them? I mean, I'm assuming now this game was till 1986, so. Okay. Oh, the first one I know, Marlboro. Camel's there, yeah.
Yeah.
Camel's number 4. No, Virginia Slims isn't on here. No. I seen like those ads. Okay.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember. Whoa.
Did you say Winston? Yeah, Winston is number 3.
Yeah.
Marlboro Light. It's stop trying to cheat. Parliament. No.
No?
The only good brand was. You stop. There's no good brands. Yeah, we got Winston. Camel. Did anyone guess Cool with a K yet? Cool with a K? That is uncool. How much are cigarettes going for nowadays? A lot.
A lot.
Did you hear that someone in LA or someone, I think in the garbage district, won $1 billion in a lottery? I didn't even know until that later that day there was even a lottery, but Terry told me that if I won the lottery, because he gave me $10, but he said that I had to marry him. And then, but if I win the lottery, but I think he also said LOL, which I don't know if that voids the marriage agreement. I mean, I don't have a lawyer right now. But I didn't even get a ticket. Because I was thinking, well, I'll get one next time I go out. I don't go out. I'm not going to go in the sun. Oh, but you know what?
You sure it wasn't Cherry?
Or was it you? No, you don't give me donations with marriage demands attached to it. No, Terry doesn't either. It was just a thing. Actually, he gave it to me from the anxiety. Because I wish I could help more. You know, I was going through some anxiety, and I had just got that box before I tried on the latex dress. Okay, so I was looking up the night of the lottery. I don't know if any of you guys played that, the $1 billion or whatever. But I was looking up because I remembered that it was going to be happening that night, and I just assumed no one would win. But just in case, I thought I would look it up because right when I was looking up, I was like, or when it occurred to me, it was like pretty soon after it was over. The numbers were pulled and they found that one winner did happen in California. So I pull up, I think it's like a Reddit forum. There's like a Reddit lottery forum that I think I was like looking for the numbers. And so the people before the lottery, like there's all these posts and they're like, did you get your ticket, guys? They're the most joyous people you've ever encountered. They're like, did you get your ticket? How many did you get? How many did you get? 10, 20? I'm in for 90 at the work pool. Someone is like, I just got one. Well, one is all you need for a chance. Like, or not even, they didn't even say a chance. They're like, for destiny. They were like the most positive people. The minute that it was announced, they were like, it's a fucking scam. They were like the most miserable people. They were like, California set it up. What?
Sometimes I get paranoid thinking that I'm already went through a scam.
A scam? Like a lottery scam?
Not like an account scam.
We need to get you an accountant. We need to stop with the scams.
I mean,
everyone's out there scamming.
Okay. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I went and I looked it up on YouTube, and there was like a story on so many scams. And
you know, in that
they got devices that they hook into ATM and stuff.
In that life hack calendar, they kept having some depressed. They said, "Oh, thieves tend to return your wallet more, or gets returned more if you have a picture of a baby in it." They're like, even if it's not your baby, put a picture of a baby in there. There was another one where it was like, there was a lot that were taking a picture of something before. They were like, when you go to an Airbnb, take a picture when you go in, or film it. But there was take a picture of your kids when you go to like a theme park or something. Because, you know, you don't want them to get kidnapped, but it's good to know, you know, what they look like and what they're wearing. You could show people. It's like, they were like so sad. And it's like, damn, it was all like scams because Airbnb, it's like, well, in case you're getting scammed for cleaning bills. Oh, in case your kids are getting stolen, your wallet's getting stolen. All of that. I was like, wow. People are getting scammed a lot. What?
I got a picture of myself as a kid on my phone.
You know what? If you were my kid, even if you're not my kid, although you might be my kid, I would wrap you in like flashing LED lights, like wire all me, and you're like, "Mommy, am I done yet?" No, me. And I'd be like, "Where's your kid, Jerry? Have you seen Jerry? Oh, he's the one that's lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh yeah, we saw that guy over there." You're like, "Hello," but you can lose someone that way. Genius. Okay, did anyone guess Paul Mall? Lucky Strike. Yeah, Lucky Strike is on here. I saw Gerald got Lucky Strike. Newport, Benson and Hedges.
Yeah, Newport.
I've never heard of the Benson and Hedges. Yeah.
They'll probably go
Kent
that.
with a K. Kent. Did you guys guess that? Pall Mall, I think I said. Merritt. Merritt? I've never heard of that. So anyway, but doesn't that just show you like the gambling? They were like all euphoric, thinking that they could be billionaires any minute. Like you're almost expecting it. But then the immediate crash where it's like, but then they started saying California's like setting it up. California, like, it's the biggest state. Like, they're like, why do they keep winning all the big ones? I don't think they win all of them. I haven't won anything. I mean, I didn't play the last time, but I haven't won.
You think it's a scam?
Do I think the lotteries? I mean, I think that there probably has been attempts to scam the lottery. Maybe some successful, although I wouldn't count it that forever because because you're scamming the people, the government. You could get caught. I would say it's probably pretty sound. I would have faith in it. Yeah, I have faith in it. It's Publishers Clearinghouse isn't a scam.
I would stay low key if I was to win.
Low key.
I've heard stories about them.
Well, I have to marry Terry. So would we have a low key wedding? What? No, Jerry, I'd move in with you. We get 1 million dogs. And a swimming pool. Well, I have a swimming pool. Well, I guess you could just move in with me. Well, then what do we do with all the money? I guess you could open up like a food pantry. But I feel like if you open up like a high quality food pantry, like a soup kitchen, but it's like gourmet, I feel like you're just going to get a bunch of rich freeloaders coming in.
I'll probably get some devices for my animation studio.
Oh, for your art. Okay.
And if it pays off, yeah, I would do all that stuff. Soup kitchen, no. I do help. I do help give the needy, even though I'm a needy.
You need a break. You need people stop scamming you.
Oh yeah, it's time I get my due.
Okay. Types of plastic surgery.
My nose job.
Yes. Have you had a nose job?
No, but
Have you had an ass lift?
I had my lips stitched up before.
Have you had butt implants?
No.
They call it tushy tuck. Is that the same thing? They have breast reduction and breast enlargement. I was thinking today. Well, last night I saw a video popped up, and I probably was watching Amberlynn Reid. Booty booty. Was a plastic surgeon, and he was talking about this. Is what the picture was of. I didn't know who the plastic surgeon was, but the picture was of Davis. Is it Kristen? She was in Sex and the City. She played Charlotte. It said like something of like what you can learn from like about aging or something from her plastic surgery. And he was basically saying, he said like when you get older, although I guess a lot of people can be like this already. And I think if you're thin, you'll make yourself like it on purpose. I don't know.
Is she a redhead?
No, that's Miranda?
Miranda?
Yeah, right? Miranda, Samantha, Carrie,
Scrappy Jew?
and Charlotte. I'm trying to see if I have a screenshot. I probably don't. Could be here, but maybe not. Let's see. It could be here. Let me see. No, I don't know if it would be a screenshot. It'd be... Yes. I was going to tell you guys this. Okay. Age-related volume loss in your temples, so like here, under the eyes, above the eyes, pre-jowl sulcus. I don't.
Botox, right?
No, but I'll get to that in a second. Pre-jowl sulcus. I don't know what that is, but he showed his face like this, like down here, I think. So, okay, and lips.
They got tummy tuck.
Oh, you're still answering the questions. Well, Botox isn't considered plastic surgery. Tummy tuck is on here, yes, number 6. Okay. Well, he says where it's not, in the cheeks and mandible. I don't know, is a mandible like here? Okay. So he was saying how it turns out, he's like, we didn't know, now we know, that fillers never go away. Like fillers, you can't really be dissolved. He said they have like, you put like enzymes in, but either way, like it leaves like these bumpy like rocks, and you'll still have scar tissue, so you're stuck with it. Okay, but he said that you're better off because you'll have, what did he call it? Elasticities, or what's it called? It might be that word, but it might be a different word with an L. But he said you're better with like a
lift.
The lift like when you get to that point, then just because she got so much injection and more, but she didn't take care of any of that stuff. Like basically, because they say that her acting in the show is like very slapstick, like very over the top because she can't express herself as much. So her face is like kind of weird, hard to move. But anyway, I thought of this with like as a warning to people, because the fillers are all the rage of like this plastic surgery, like just filling in all this stuff. Botox, I don't know. I think that botulism is meant to like keep you expressionless, and if you don't make any expression, then you can't wrinkle. But I'm not sure. I've never had any of that stuff. My lips are real. Everything is real. Okay, but I thought of like Madonna, because they didn't know it when they started testing all these injections, I guess, that you couldn't get rid of them. And her face is like really puffy. And I was thinking of her today, how the way she acted, like I had this clip of her alive in like 1988 performing, and she was like cute, but the way she performed, it's very much like she is now. Like the only thing that really changed is her looks. She has gotten older, she has had surgeries and stuff, injections, but the way that she acts, she's always been like that. It's just that I guess if people found her more attractive, it didn't bother them that she was like not a good performer. Like she was okay, but a lot of it was just about being cute. I don't know. But I feel bad for her because she's not a doctor. Whoever put that in her face, somebody did that to her. And, you take guidance from professionals that you're paying thousands of dollars to.
Is the term cosmetic in it?
What did you say?
Cosmetics. Is that
cosmetic? Yeah, fat suctioning. Is that like lipo? Facelift, chin lift, nose up, tushy tuck, acne peeling. Oh, is acne peeling considered surgery? Surgical? Do they put you under for that? Scar removal. I don't know how to do scar removal. The only thing I think of scar removal is like, you ever see that movie The Craft? Didn't that person have like all those burns?
Yeah.
And then they like did the magic and they went away or something. But I don't really know about like real life of these things. But that is sad to me. But isn't it crazy? Those people that are so young, they're doing this, and it'll be permanent. Like, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's advertised to them. Like,
Yep. Yes.
that's how advertising works, right? But they advertise like on all over the place. I don't know. I just think it's.
And you want to like sink, we call it sink it in your head while you're young.
I think it's sad how very often you're made to believe something is safe until it's not. You're made to believe something doesn't have effects. It's cool, it's fine until it's not, and you're like the casualty of that. You know, like a lot of people take that view of like the COVID vaccine of like, I'm not gonna do it until I am sure. But think of like so many things that are kind of like that. Like you really don't know. Like they're just said it's safe, but then come to find out later, you know, plenty of things maybe, but then it could be like some product you were taking, some, you know, over the counter medication, something. It's like it's spooky because I feel like corporations aren't really incentivized. They're not really incentivized for your safety. They're incentivized to get your dollars quickly.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Well, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And some would know that. They will know they know the effects of what they do, but they can't. But we don't want to stop.
That's true, but I don't know if they fully know the effects because I have been skeptical of fillers, but I didn't even know that until yesterday.
Well,
I just assumed like it must not be healthy. Like it doesn't seem healthy to inject substances into yourself. But then it's like, what do I know? I'm not a board certified doctor, but I guess it's not. All right. Well, is there anything else you would like to say, Jerry? Because I feel like you are my precious baby, and I just want to pet you and call you my bosoms and say, everything will be all right. Ain't nobody hurt Jerry. Get him home safely. Get him tucked into bed. Get him a little glass of milk.
well, like that's it.
What are you going to have for dinner? You must have already ate.
I got some chicken, fried chicken. No, it was a baked chicken. KFC.
KFC. In honor of Tony Bennett, he's having chicken. I don't know what Tony Bennett would eat. I don't even remember anything of Tony Bennett. I don't know what he sang. They always said, American standards.
I remember that he performed I think he performed in Vegas, and he's like
he always smiled a lot.
It's like a decade of his performances and stuff too.
He just was always there our whole life, like Queen Elizabeth and Betty White. And now they're all going. Come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think he got to a younger youth than me, you know.
Well, may we all live, you know, at least as old as he did.
Yeah.
Well, I love you so much. And
I love you too. And I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
You got the most gorgeous legs I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you're
that.
welcome. I don't want you to feel like, no.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Agreed. Thank you. It was also all Tony Bennett's. You know, by the way, both my lines are open. It's Terry. Hello.
Hello?
I was like, oh, I forgot to put on a British accent. And then I was like, oh, I forgot how to put on a British accent. So, look, it's late. Have you gotten any sleep lately? I feel like you haven't been sleeping again much.
No, I've been sleeping good all week.
I feel like you wrote me at some point, was like, I haven't been to sleep yet. And it was late.
I could have been at the start of the week.
Okay.
Friday.
Then you are well rested. Okay. So what did Tony Bennett paint? Was he a painter? Like, you know how like Hitler was a painter, but he wasn't really. Like Adolf Hitler, what is he known for? Painting? No? Try again.
He was known for murder and being a drug addict.
Genocide? Yeah. But
A little bit.
so have you ever seen the movie Girl Interrupted?
Yes.
So I know I must have seen it. I think I saw it was on Netflix, and I was like, have I seen this? And I went to like look it up, and then I saw a picture of Angelina Jolie getting the Oscar for it, and I was like, oh, did she get the Oscar for that? And then I saw that it was based on a book, and I didn't know that it was based on a book. So I read books, so I was like, oh, this is very interesting. So it was a true story from an author, but this was from the 60s. And I guess it was written in like 1996. But she was like 18 or something when she went for 2 years to this like mental institution. But apparently it's like a really good book. I guess she was diagnosed at the time with BPD, but then they say that at that time in the 60s, like especially women could be called crazy or insane and put away for things that like nowadays you wouldn't dream of, but just not like societal norms. I thought that might be an interesting book to read to you guys, but I do wonder if it would be too dark. But I think the movie was deliberately made to be really dark and gritty, whereas the book, I don't
Did
think.
you watch the movie?
Yes, not lately, but I watched it like maybe with my mom or something. I just remember, like, I remember Brittany Murphy's character always being like, like she always like had her eyes like that, and
I forgot about
and
it.
then like Angelina Jolie's character, she scared me,
She should.
and I didn't remember that Whoopi Goldberg was in it. I think Lena Dunham is in it, but not memorable to me, I guess.
The clip, though.
Oh yeah. But they say that
Whatever.
to get to my point, which I rarely do quickly. The book is from a painting called Girl Interrupted While Listening to Music. I don't know this painting. Do you, Pale? Because I'm like, who knows names of paintings? But she's like said because it's about like adolescence, it's about like female adolescence, or how being a girl gets interrupted in her life by becoming a woman or something like that. So that's why it's called Girl Interrupted, because of the book from the
I did
author,
not know that.
and then that's why the movie is called that from the book, because it was apparently a popular. What?
I liked it. I say I liked it. I suppose I was thinking it was Girl Interrupted because it was interrupting her life, so that makes sense.
Okay.
I didn't.
Do you want it? Like, what do you think of all the talk around the Barbie movie, and why do you hate women, you chauvinist pig?
I seen the same review you did, believe it.
How horrible! Like,
I did.
how serious are you going to take a movie about Barbie? Which, by the way, all movies tend to have like a theme, because this isn't the first Barbie movie or like a message. There was a lot of animated bullshit Barbie movies made for kids, but they're not like real movies because they don't have like a message or thoughts. They're just like, I'm Barbie, let's twirl around in sparkles, yay! And like, nobody takes that serious. You just put that on for kids while you like, I don't know, read a magazine or something. But that movie, like the Lego movie, even had a message, like, and that was about Legos. But they had to come up with some message. Otherwise, it's just like a kids movie, like those other Barbie movies. So they have to have something deeper that you're watching, I think. Like, what movie doesn't have some kind of a message? We literally read journey, a hero's journey, and there's always like something to be learned. Like, yeah, like I didn't think that was unusual that there would be a message in a movie.
I don't get the review. Somebody's woke up on the wrong side of the bed when they wrote that. I'm definitely going to watch it. What I take from it, I do not know.
You know what I think? You know what I think bothers me? It's that.
What?
Do you remember? I think it was like this week. It was like when I was reading this book that I'm reading now. You slag. I know you can't call me slag. I would be distracted by how British that is. I'm like, wait, what does that mean? You boot slagged? What?
That's definitely not a good word.
She was called that on the Daily Mail. How horrible.
That doesn't get used in any sort of context other than a fight.
It's not good. It's not good. If I find myself in England, I'm called that. Don't say, thanks, hi.
No.
What a nice greeting.
Start swinging your handbag.
Well, was I going to say that? Oh, so I was saying something about, it was about just, I think, the book in general and how, like, relationships, like, it sort of appeals to women. I was thinking maybe because, you know, historically we haven't had as much power in society. So, whereas now, you know, more women are, I said more women are in college, and like some guy I think got upset. Like, it just an instant reaction. I don't think he meant anything against me. I think it was like a, you know, hit the knee reflex of, and they were like, but like basically that it wasn't good. And like about women going to college, like, what? It's not even me. Like, I haven't even gone to college. Like, what? But what I think that's what frustrates me, like with the interview and all this, like, can't even just like enjoy things. It has to be like something to be upset about in some way. Like, you can't take a good part of something.
I used to think I was the best complainer. I love complaining about stuff, but I'm very wrong. Apparently, people like it far more than I do.
You like, why? What is the thrill? What is the...
I don't know. I like sitting around with other people talking about how bad things are and complaining.
Okay, complain about something. Go on. What have you complained about today?
Today, the weather.
The weather. That's...
My work.
That's what old people complain about when they're playing, you know, what do they play? The ones with the little, with the little dots in the tiles. And they sit there smoking their cigars.
Oh, dominoes?
Dominoes. Yeah, that they complain about the weather. It was the weather, old sport. I got my cane. I'm Terry. It'll be cloudy today. Like, what are you complaining about the weather? Complain about something serious. What are people upset about in England? They're gonna strike.
No strikes. What are they upset
It's all the
about?
rage over here. Join the bandwagon. Or don't. Join the bandwagon of not doing anything.
That strike will be short-lived.
I don't know. I think it could go into next year. What?
You think so?
Yeah.
So you really think that?
Yeah, well, think about it. It's unusual, you know. It's not like they pull this all the time. So to make a move like what?
They're not like the French.
No, you make a move like this, I think, because you feel you have to, and when you have to, you fight. Not, I don't want to say to the death. Metaphorically, you fight. Well, really, I mean, because most actors ain't got shit, so they already have a second job. They already have a first job. Acting is what they hope will be their second job. It's the celebrities themselves. They might have been able to get some work, but even them, like, they're at risk of being replaced by, you know, whatever they could be replaced by. If they're a voice actor, could just take their voice. If they're a you know, writer, whatever. But the thing is, to this day, like, you look back at I think Queen Elizabeth, the one that was like I looked it up recently, that Anne Boleyn. She got like beheaded, but it was like really uncool. Like it was like not fair. And then anyway, like her daughter became queen, and then like that one became Queen Elizabeth. So anyway, that one. They say like she knew like it was important that you serve at like behalf of the people, at the people's like approval. Like so basically like there still is, even if you're at the top, like that's why even so like celebrities and leadership, they do fear like a revolt, you know.
They should.
Well, so I think celebrities, they know if they break a strike, like it will look really bad. Like so even they don't really have a lot to gain by doing that. Maybe someone might try it and then everyone will be watching to see how it works out for them. But I don't know. I mean, I don't see it happening because people make their voice heard so much nowadays. They would really, I think, have a problem if it's like this many people, you know what I mean? And then there's like lone people.
I saw something recently that Disney has lost somewhere in the region of 900 million this year from all their bad movies.
Disney?
So
I wanted to see, what did that Pixar, the Elemental? I heard it was like really romantic. When that's on Disney Plus, I want to see that.
they were also talking about Disney Plus is losing them a lot of money too. So,
but I'm not
if they're
like
not making any money. How can they pay actors?
I never made Disney my whole personality. Like some people, they really do. Like they literally will go to the Disney parks like every day. They call themselves like Disney adults. And like there's like a whole subculture around even just like the popcorn buckets and being able to get the limited edition popcorn buckets and they'll like sell them for a fortune and all these. Yeah, it's like so I'm not like that. I mean, I've been to Disneyland like a couple times. It's cute, but I don't know, like all the characters are ever, and it's just like it's just a thing. But so Disney's success or failure doesn't really affect me personally. Like I don't feel something about them. Yeah, like I don't feel attached to them.
I couldn't care less about them. But
I used to like the Disney Channel. Is that a thing? I used to listen to Disney Channel radio. The Hannah Montana soundtrack, that was my jam. Who said you can't be president? I say you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, and was it If We Were a Movie? You don't know the Hannah Montana soundtrack? I love that shit. And then what was the theme song?
I don't even know that.
I don't.
Sing it, I'll know it.
Do you know it?
Oh, well, if you sing it, I'll recognize
Okay.
it.
Isn't it the best of both worlds? Right? Because she had the wig and she was one world and then she was Miley Stewart. When
I was wrong. I don't remember at all.
oh, for real. The Jonas Brothers. Yeah. Well, I remember singing it to you once and I was like, no, I was like a loser. Like I listened to like Disney stuff. Like it's not trying to be like death metal and hardcore.
See, whenever you talk about your childhood and all, you talk about being bullied and all, it makes me want to throw chewing gum like a 7-year-old girl's hair. Don't do that.
But you kind of always want to do that. Like when I was talking about yelling like a crazy Karen, you probably were like, oh yeah, oh I would love that. Like, because you enjoy the aggression. That's your version of playing like live action video games. It's like, hey you, fuck you. Points. Fuck you too. I don't know. It's like an immersive game. You are the NPCs.
Oh God, I can't believe that.
That is so dumb. Come on.
That's Isn't that what I said to you whenever I sent it to you? I said, guarantee this is the weirdest shit you've ever seen.
No, it's not the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen like Asian people eating live animals. I didn't want to, but it was a thing. It is a thing. Anyway.
I see.
I think that's probably a fetish too. But it's like the same thing could be a fetish. Watching fat people eat chicken nuggets is a fetish. But it's not a fetish. It's just okay. Anyway, not the weirdest. But what I think is dumb is it's a stupid thing to get. I guess I don't want to say known for, but it's a stupid thing to invest your time in because you are not. You're not building any sort of a repeatable like a skill. It's not improv. It's not. You're not building anything with your time. It's maybe. No, I was gonna say a little more than like fast food work, but fast food work you actually can build skills and you could work your way up, be management, get experience with that, get a promotion. But that is you're just repeating the same phrases. They'll get bored of you doing that. You'll get bored of it too very quickly, and also, when that's done, you won't have anything else. You'll have to start to build on, no base level talent, which most people don't have anyway.
When that's done, they'll move on to the next trend, like on the toilet seats again.
I would say no. I would say it's an indicative of the fact that most people are very uninteresting. Therefore, most people on TikTok. I don't mean retarded on it. They're well, I mean, they do try like
you don't have to say I say it.
They do try to stupid themselves. I don't want to say down. Maybe that's okay. Maybe they try to represent a level of stupid, whether it's theirs or whatever. And I don't see the value in that long term. So, and the whole idea of trends, I don't like the word trends. I just call it what it is, copying. Like, like Madonna. It's like, no, her look wasn't trending. People were straight up copying her look. Just call it that. They're copying Madonna's look. What?
Madonna's content.
It's trending. It's trending, like, like the stupid gloves or whatever. Like, it's trending because there's, multiple people are copying her. Okay. I just don't like that word. People don't like to embrace the word copying, as they shouldn't. They should look within and be like, oh, I don't want to be a copier. Okay, I'll stop and then be original.
Most people don't have anything to be original with. They're all shit.
Trending is a marketing term. Yeah, the whole idea of trending is stupid when you think about it. It's everything that you're supposed to be disgusted with. It's a lemming ideology. It's, you know what I mean? Like you call them sheep.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing to embrace about trend. I mean, I guess it kind of is a signifier for your, if not desire, then willingness to conform. And that in and of itself signifies something. And therefore that something maybe is what people value, but they don't want to say that. So it's like, oh, I like that you're this trend, but really they like that you like to follow the trend. Sometimes I think that with things that require you to have a degree, like it might mean something more than just the degree. Like it might be what it represents. Like you're not poor or something. Like really, because it's like you need a PhD to work at, I was gonna say Bed Bath and Beyond, but they're no more, are they? What's the Bed Bath and Beyond replacement now? Walgreens? I don't know.
Amazon.
Where do you go shopping? Like for groceries? Aldi?
Where do I go shopping?
Yeah. Because you showed me a store once. I think I was buying soup or something, and you're like, oh, I don't know if this is like more than where you are. And I was like, I think it looks cheaper, but you got those like little squiggle things. So
that is that store was called Asda.
Because I was wondering, because you always hear in America that things are so much more expensive in other places. So I was just curious if it was or if it wasn't.
It's,
Because
Asda is a Walmart
Walmart.
brand over here. We don't have Walmart, we have Asda, but it's the same parent company.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
And the Tesco's in the book that she keeps bringing up, I don't have one of them close to me, but that's probably the biggest one we've got.
Everyone is a brand. Exactly. I feel like everything gets whittled down to that. Like some people might be a brand openly, that's what they want for a time. Maybe, I don't know. But then when you don't want that, you still get put in that because someone else did. And I don't like that. It's like with the NPC thing I was saying, like, okay, but if I wanted to do that, I'd be doing that. And since I'm not, respect that. Like, it's, what does that signify if I was doing that? Then what does it signify that I'm not doing that? Then, follow accordingly.
If you're doing it, you're an unoriginal moron. If you're not doing it, you're amazingly good.
I think most people like kinds of milk. Goat milk, reindeer milk,
I like milk.
chocolate milk,
Not
strawberry
chocolate
milk.
Strawberry milk.
I love that strawberry milk. You know that. You are welcome to come over anytime you want. Can I bring my dogs?
Yes, dogs can have passports.
I'm talking to someone in the chat. Yeah, dogs can have passports. How do you know that your cat and my dogs would get along?
I could give the cat to my brother.
I thought today's technology would make us smarter, but actually, it has made us dumber. I don't know, because I feel like I'd like to think that people get smarter every year that they're alive, including myself, including yourself. So then it's hard to say, because that would mean that every year that I've had internet, I like to think I've gotten smarter, because that would mean it's been another year that I was alive or something. So, I want to think I get dumber. So you have to take a test group compared to not having, and then like you could do pre-internet, but of that same relative group, like age or whatever, like
pre-internet.
like 20 to yeah, the internet's been around like our whole life, but I just mean I think like it's a little bit different. They call it Web 2.0, like social media age.
Yep.
But what the hell is that? I don't really.
That there's actually markable, readable, detrimental effect on young girls. They can see from when the iPhone came out.
And yet their parents still keep buying them that. So how documented detrimental is it if parents support that? Could that be a form of child abuse then, if it's not documented? No, I agree, but we're experimenting on people, I suppose. A lot of dangerously stupid people in the world. You know what I don't like is like back in the day, I think, I'm not sure, because most of my life, like, I really, like, I didn't have internet. Like, all of my learned feelings, reactions, I traced to pre-internet, like I was so poor growing up, I didn't even have light. So it was like, very often, I mean, like if it was that bad, you're not going to even have internet, you're going to have phones. So I feel like, my learning about people and communicating, like for better or worse, had nothing to do with internet. And, I don't know, you speak in memes. I feel like, but yeah, maybe like young people today, there's almost less internet understanding of communication. And
there's no.
So I would say that I do think I can think more for myself pre-internet, and I could see how like a person could give it like a review of something in person, and you might believe them, but maybe it'd be a closer friend. But I'm trying to think like if I guess maybe if a random stranger. Well, I do remember this one time a random stranger came up and complimented my makeup, and I remember being so flattered because I was like horrible at makeup, and I was like, oh yeah, it gets worse, and I was like, wow, God, like she was so pretty. She was African American. She had like the beautiful skin and hair and lips, and I was just like, wow, thank you. She's like, so I sell Mary Kay, and she broke out some order form.
Where that was going.
And it was like, oh, it was a sales. I don't have any money.
How does that story go bad?
It goes bad. It's like, so that kind of thing. Well, I guess what I'm just getting at is I feel like if somebody says something on the internet, whatever they're testifying to, very often it's taken like as gospel. Like, oh, this is better than this. Why? Well, some person on the internet said it with, no icon, no name.
If you're buying something, do you read reviews?
Yes, I will often read reviews. I will, yeah. Yeah.
Not for movies, not for products.
Or movies too, but products. Like I was even looking up that book, but makeup. Yeah.
And do you go straight to the 5-star comments, or do you go to the bad ones? Because I go to the bad ones first.
Well, you go to like Makeup Alley, and they might give like a general of stars, like out of 10 or whatever, but then you scroll down, so it might be like 1, 5, 3. There might be one person that reviewed that product. So it could be 1, like this lipstick sucks. 5, it's like, but it, I think like with Amazon, you do like you go to where the stars. Not everywhere would have that. I think also like YouTube tutorials. I might look up a YouTube review on like a makeup product.
I do that too.
So that's not like a star. But very often, again, those you can't necessarily believe, but at least you might get another look at it, because they might be given to them, and they're like, "This is the best foundation ever," and then you never see it again. Like they lie too, Actually, there's new FTC regulations that came out this week on influencers, at least in America, or I guess if you're making money in America. I don't know how that works overseas, but with lying and with like for instance, if you have a brand. Like if I had a line of makeup called Stella's H&M's makeup, and I'm like, oh, look at this new palette, and it literally has my name and face on it. Like you don't need to say this is mine, by the way. But if I had a name up my own brand and it was called like Terry Conned Me Into Marriage, it might not be obvious that that's my brand because my name isn't on it. So I have to say, oh, by the way, I'm being sponsored. Or this is, I'm making money by doing this or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any sponsors. I make a little bit of money. It goes straight to like pantyhose. Like, I don't know like what other people are doing that actually get like given things that like I get given things like boots from you, dog treats. Anytime I need dog food, John gets to like toilet paper. Daryl, my vitamins, water, but like Amway's not sponsoring me. It's what Daryl is. They're not like, yeah, we want our brand associated with your OnlyFans. No, like when I'm masturbating in a hula skirt, I use Perfect Water. I just splash on. I feel like the ocean.
I feel like this is the perfect time to say, oh my god, that was so good.
I was
Oh my god.
feeling the tropics, the tropical coconut. I literally put on like a coconut body mist. Here.
It was extremely distracting in the best way ever.
You know, I can't be responsible for what time that you work versus what time that my dog wakes me up.
See,
The grass skirt, yeah.
While I'm on the call, I need to take the opportunity to defend myself in podcast yet.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have no excuse, but I'm going to try anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
we know my memory is
I'm
terrible,
assuming this is his
so
love
that's
of
the first
arguing
excuse.
coming through.
So my first excuse is my memory is terrible. I cannot remember me posting that at all.
This is your new battle of the wits? Is to proclaim you have no wits? This is an interesting strategy. I haven't thought of this one.
My second excuse is you probably posted it late at night, and I very rarely will watch the movies and all with you because I go to sleep. And I probably clicked on it and meant to watch it the next day and forgot. Is that a good excuse?
But no, like you're playing these probabilistic questions I know the answer to. And I'm like, wrong again. Like, I'll literally, like, this is what happened. This is when I had Twitter. Because this was a while ago, like that I saw it when it was originally posted. And so you know that wasn't just posted then. I saw it on Twitter and when I had Twitter, you know, so, but it was before the show and it was very long and it was very dark. And I remember saying during the show how, because I talk about what I'm going to watch after. And I said, I want to watch the rest of that podcast. So, and I was saying that I was talking about, so I brought it up in the show. I brought up, I'd watch it after the show. Then I take a picture of it. And you know what you said to me? It was like, yeah, that's great and all, but I'm going to be watching this. And it was like, probably like, you know, some like dumb video game or something. Like it was something stupid. Like, I'm going to watch this instead. Like some dumb guy thing. It's like, okay, so you don't care about the children. Okay. That's nice. And then all this time later, you're like, well, I don't know if you'd be interested in this. But excuse me? Excuse me?
See, I've never seen that guy before. It's never even been in my feed, so I must have clicked on it, and then that's when it's come up again. So at least I've done that.
At least I've done. Well, you could have clicked on. You could have found it sooner if you paid attention. But you just write like you probably roll. Enjoy it, but you don't even.
I enjoy it when I watched it.
Yeah, I
That was very interesting.
yeah, it was. But yeah, like I don't really remember all of it except being disturbed, but kind of glad that there were people out there that, and I thought that guy was really interesting how with the Bitcoin stuff and things like I have no idea about, but it's like, damn, they're really like.
Have you ever been on the dark web?
No, what reason would I have to?
I don't know. Have a look and see what it is. Curiosity.
No, I haven't been curious. No, sorry.
I have. Well, it's a lot of nonsense. It's really boring. But everything you buy on is all Bitcoin.
Bitcoin? Yeah. Well, I don't have any Bitcoin, so I'm broke on the dark web, just like in the real web.
It's really crap.
When you buy pantyhose there, because I can buy them on the light web, if you will. So I don't have any need for that. So
Just avoid it. It's really boring.
I don't know that one time. What did you say? What was that?
I don't know.
I think I said, I said something about you where it was like, oh, I don't know if he would, like me to say this, but it was like something stupid, like you, like it was like no, it was like that. Yeah, I was gonna say like, but then you didn't care that I shared what you shared with me about having a bent micropene that's all like crooked and misshapen, and you didn't care. Like you shared that to me in privacy, but
What?
I talk about that openly. So that's why I know you'd be fine with me sharing about, the podcast or whatever. Because those are personal things about your deformed manhood. And yeah.
I don't mind podcast game. What is I think it's funny.
Like those, what are those, like those screwdrivers that are like this? That your dick looks like that, except, like a little miniature version. And I thought that was really brave that you shared that.
I don't care. You like the micros?
I do. Actually, I was getting turned on by the chat yesterday when they were talking about micro dosing, and then I had to remember, like, oh, they're not talking about peen. I have doses of something. I have no interest in that. Those aren't the micros that I'm interested in.
No. The way you said that too, naughty.
Naughty. It's two things that I like: hula girls and micros. You can microdose a micro off of a micro. Did you call me to talk about your crooked penis, or to apologize, to come groveling?
To apologize about podcast
Gate. No, it's okay. Like, I don't expect you to remember everything I've ever watched. I don't even remember. I just remember that one because of the subject matter. I don't watch that type of thing often, but
No, I don't think you would.
yeah, I think but it was like more of a hopeful story because it was a good guy, and I thought that was nice. And
I sent you something about a movie about The Sound of Freedom. That's kind of along those lines too.
But that's in theaters, and I'm not really like.
I know.
I'm wondering if like one of the apps will show it. I think that they will because.
Oh, they for sure will.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Full Metal Jacket.
Of course.
Yeah, but like where that scene where he's like screaming out racisms, like he's like I hate equally or something. He's like all and he uses like various slurs. Like that's blasting off of the TV literally like yesterday because remember I said I moved that TV that was using for date nights or for movie nights, and then we can't do that anymore. So I put that one to see if that'll work. But if that TV is weird, like when it goes off, it has a hard time. Like I have to reboot the whole thing to connect with Wi-Fi again or whatever. Like I'm having trouble with that. But it's all I have right now, except for the other room, but to have in the front. And I like to have TVs playing, to have sound. Like it's for safety too. So I let it just run to the next one, to the next one. I think this was on like Amazon or something, like to the next one. So that one comes up and I open the door and I think, what was I getting? I think maybe John had got, they love those rawhides for the dogs. And he's like, no N-words, no, like this. And I'm like, I turn it, I'm like, what am I listening to? Full Metal Jacket. And it was like, I'm like, they put this on Amazon? They're not canceled for this? I mean, what? So I'm like, you know what? They can put anything then.
Or did you actually watch it?
What?
Was it just on in the background? Or did you
Oh, it was just on in the background because I was watching, or maybe I put on one of their like, how they have like the popular or recommended. It was like some other picture that just came out. I wasn't watching even that one, but that other war one comes on next, and that's like a famous war movie or something. No, I haven't watched it.
That may not be your thing, but it's really, really good.
Well, either way, there's racism, and they're allowed to put that on Amazon and not get canceled. So maybe that Sound of Freedom will be on it. Oh, you're going to bed, John? Okay. I was hoping you would call next.
If John stays up and wants to call, I can get off the call right now. You want?
Get off the phone! No. All right, we'll see if he'll call.
All right.
All right,
Good
love
night.
you. Love you. John, you better call right now because I know you're up. Or I'll call you. I'm looking for your number. He hasn't called me in a while, so it's hard to find his number. I see. Arthur's. Too late? You know what? You're deliberately ignoring me. It's only 8:52. Oh my grandpa sheet. Doing the thing the movie is about. I don't know. I guess I've been on for almost 2.5 hours, so. Anyway, thank you, my wonderful callers. I feel really. Hello?
Hi.
Hi! I thought you said it's too late. You faked him out.
Well, I decided maybe I could spare you late.
You could squeeze in a quick little, like a little. I missed you, Stella. you were at your sister's. I suppose I should.
I got back when you were talking to Jerry, but then.
I suppose I should believe you that you weren't.
But anyway.
How are you feeling? You sound tired.
Well, I'm feeling good. It's just been a long day.
And hot?
I mean, that is the way you can. Obviously, you are hot.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 160. I went out to get Rex, and my feet were burning on the pavement. I'm like, ha, ha, like I'm on hot coals. Like, ha, 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 ha. Like I jumped into the shade. You know, when it's the fall or whatever, I don't need to wear shoes.
It's definitely hot. It's like walking in the sand on the beach on a hot day. It's just like you can't just stand there. You burn your feet.
So it is July. It's almost August. Before you know it, it'll be the fall, which means you'll be going to Aruba.
Yeah.
Did I remind you a little of Aruba this morning? Was I at the island vibes?
Oh, yes.
I'm
it's
like,
funny, though. I don't see anything like that when I go there.
well, look, I'm one of a kinds. I haven't seen anyone do that, but I think that it looked nice. I think, well, actually, if I was outside here, my skirt would probably catch fire anyway and turn into, what do they call timber? Kindling. And like a Survivor where they make fire and it'll just burn. Probably if I sat my ass like on the ground, it probably could start smoking. But nope, I was just in the bed, staying cool. I know, because you warned me. You're like, if you can stay in, you know, because it's gonna be really hot. And I mean, you open the door and you feel it.
Yeah, it's like opening a blast furnace door. The heat just like envelops you.
Oh, you know what? The CVS, the door broke from the heat because the cool. You know how CVS keeps it so cold inside in the AC, and the heat. It's like what happened with my fucking fridge, which I was cleaning that to impress you when you got me that book I asked for. When you guys see this fridge next, it's gonna be all clean. My sink still hasn't been able to work.
No.
Not.
You gotta get that repaired, right?
Well, obviously, I need to get that repaired. Obviously, I wasn't expecting this to happen. So, right as of right now, like it'll work in the sense that it takes a while to drain down. So, for the most part, I've been using I've been hand washing my silverware and using paper plates, plastic cups.
So it's probably something just clogging it up somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I think it's the glass from that
It could be.
that shelf that broke in the fridge that I was cleaning. Hot water,
Do you
cold
have-
shelf, just like the CVS. Pressure.
Yeah.
So I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
They learned that lesson. It'll get, yeah. It's a mess. I know.
You don't have a garbage disposal in your sink, do you?
I do, but that stopped working at the same time that happened. So I think it's correlated. I think the glass ruined it.
Yeah, I don't think I would turn it on.
I did, and now I can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
There's so many good things you can't.
This is the most humiliating call of my life. Hey, I have toothpaste, and
I saw that.
and I have working toilets. Okay, thanks to you on the second one, but still. So it's not everything is in shambles. Listen, I'm just one person. I work as hard as I can, but it's like, yeah. And my thing this morning was masturbating in a hula skirt, and I do the
Yeah.
priorities first.
Good job.
Well,
I was really impressed.
after scoring these things. So I get to it sometimes, like was it not last night, but the night before, I was able to like get a momentum, a rhythm, like a flow, and get stuff done. And then last night was not as coming as much, and even this morning I got like a little bit of areas. But so I think when I'm waiting for it to hit me, I guess a little bit, but I'm also, doing what I can. Like, I think, when you hit an area, like a room, like what I did yesterday with like all those things I organized, it does give you a sense of empowerment. And so starting with a small room, even though it seems counterintuitive that it wasn't the other room, it makes me feel like, oh, wasn't this great? Like now I can take all these photos in here with my my dress last night and that mirror I moved. Now I can play with this mirror. Even before the show, I was like lifting up my shirt and like, oh, this is fun. I'm like, I gotta get on the show. But I enjoy it. Like, oh, see, isn't this fun? Like you can do more things when it's cleaner. This is good motivation to go and have a working sink again. So I still been using my dishwasher. It's in the cardboard box. I've been using it as a shelf. Really, I guess you could call it like a table. I've been using it really as a table. Like sometimes I'll put like a muffin on it. I'll eat off of that on a plate. But it's basically a shelf unit, which is not what I intended it for. Yeah.
You'll get there. I should go. I really am kind of late. I'll try to get a call earlier next week.
Well, it's so wonderful to hear your sleepy voice. Get some sleep. Stay cool. Okay. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for calling.
You too.
Dishwashers are the new exercise bike. I have an actual bike, which I've only used the last time was to play the dildo on it and take pictures on that. And I feel like an exercise bike, I would do the same thing. But I feel like, everything on the outside, it's easy to complain about. Like this person that was writing me, like this person that has diabetes and is blind, like has trouble seeing. And he's like, critiques me. And then he wrote me this apology of like, you're so most beautiful. You're so perfect. Hey, there's nothing about like you're the most perfect body. Blah, blah. But it's like, even when you say that, like, I feel frustrated when it's very hard for someone to see everything you're feeling or going through. Like the parts of your day that are touched with like grief, being tired, you make a doctor appointment. You try and take care of dogs. You take like, and even just, people pay lip service to like self-care, mental health, but really, I mean, I feel like, yes, cleaning up in your areas can definitely be therapeutic and part of that in its own way, but survival in itself is its own talent in a way. It's like, I'm surviving. Give me credit for that. Give all of us credit for that. And I think, however slow at some things, I think progress is still being made. So I'll get there. It's the journey. And look, we have the mirror set up that way now. We got the other mirror where you take pictures. I was really proud when I had that little bathroom set up where it's like lotion, toothpaste. Nobody really uses them. Uses what? Oh, the dishwasher. No, I used my dishwasher. Oh my God, it would be so much easier because I don't like hand washing dishes, and sometimes they get so crusted that I actually go, oh, like you're gonna see soon a thing of me like in lingerie with like maybe gloves. I don't know, but like because I'm like sweaty and like like the pan, like because like sometimes I'll make like, let's see, from Aldi today I got ground beef. I got those like frozen burgers, so those like sizzle on, and you use like butter or onion or something. So you're cutting it off and like, it's like I was like, you know what? I should be filming this erotic dishwashing because it is hard work, and the dishwasher would really help. Get that like pre-spray. Yes. The problem is, when I bought that extra couch, for my birthday from the Southwest, I probably shouldn't have bought that couch. Like, I probably don't have the room for the couch, even though it was only $50. I find it hard fitting a whole other couch that wasn't needed, and not like to just like transient, like not like a fancy little couch to like pose or read on or a little lounge, but like a huge couch. And I like leather, and I am going to use it, but I think that because I have that couch there in the middle, then I have the two chairs, the ones where I read on in that room when I can get there, and then I have like these like the cabinet, those triple plastic ones, like that's in the bathroom too, but you don't have a ton of them around. So I got a row of that there, which leaves like no space, but there's stuff on the floor to there. So that leaves their stuff a little, what, now that I think about it, it's not even that much stuff. I think it's just that couch. I can't get around it, and they can't get around it. So there's very little area. So it makes me feel claustrophobic, but I probably keep going back because there's very little like that I can clean, but the part that is like, yeah, I probably could just move a lot of that to the garage, and it might be tiring. But even when that's done, there probably isn't a lot of room for them to get around, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that couch, I got that at the end of April, and so that coincides with the same timing of it being like running out of room. Yeah, the white couch peeled apart though, like all the the plastic part, and Rex was eating it, and that was really bad. I would be like, Rex, no. So I had to get rid of that, and it was all peeled off anyway. So, and the dogs, because like the claws, but this one is real leather; it doesn't get like that. Make it hot. Well, I did show myself putting the sink in, trying to put the sink in, with the in pantyhose. That was fun. So yeah. So anyway, wish me luck with that. I'm gonna see what I can do. But yeah, one day at a time. Pale, If I don't see you on OnlyFans, then what the hell? But I miss you. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Mwah. Good night.